Erling Haaland is the Norwegian goal machine who is threatening to break every scoring record in England. Hit the intro.
Welcome to Manchester, Erling Haaland. You are going to be a superstar. Erling Haaland! Need I say more?
Haaland became the most terrifying young striker in the world and is being compared to Ronaldo and Messi. But there's more to Erling Haaland's footballing success than his Viking heritage and fearsome physique. Let's quickly dive into Haaland's background. Haaland was born on the 21st of July 2000 in Leeds, England, while his father, Alpha Inge Haaland, was playing professional football there. Haaland stands out for his imposing physical presence, standing at 6 feet 4 inches tall. After the Haaland family left the UK and returned to Norway, they moved to Bryne, and Haaland and his friends would play pickup games on the indoor pitch of the local team, Bryne FK. Unlike many pro athletes' parents, Haaland's father, Alfie, didn't want to put pressure on Erling's blossoming football career and instead chose to keep his distance. Instead, he learned a lot from training with his older brother, Aster. He didn't always have a strong physical presence, though. As a kid, he was scrawny and started out on the wing. Let's briefly talk about his club career now. At 15, he had been given his professional debut for Bryne FK, and the following year, he signed with Molde, a side in Norway's top division. After a slow start, Haaland scored 16 goals in 30 appearances in his second season at Molde. Soon, approaches started coming in from clubs all over the world, and this is where his father's expertise came into play. Most players want to go to the most notable team. Alpha convinced Haaland to go where he will get the most playing time. And in January 2019, Haaland chose to join Red Bull Salzburg. The dominant Austrian side that had just qualified for the Champions League was known for playing youth and happened to have a starting spot for a striker. At Salzburg, Haaland exploded, scoring 25 goals in just 23 appearances in a fluidly attacking side that also included the likes of Takumi Minamino and Hwang Hee-chan. But the game that really changed things didn't come until that autumn, in his Champions League debut against Genk. He scored a hat-trick on club football's biggest stage. His whole family was there to watch, and they all went out to celebrate after. Well, except for Erling. He got back in the car at 1 a.m. and drove to the training center to do his recovery routine. The same thing happened when he moved to Borussia Dortmund later that same year. Haaland came off the bench in the second half and scored a hat-trick in just 23 minutes.
Well, he's got a hat-trick on his debut!
Yeah, you heard that right. He later went on to win the Golden Boy Award. His final season at Dortmund was riddled with injuries, but nothing like his father's. While his father Alf was playing for Manchester City, Roy Keane of Manchester United took a nasty cheap shot to his right knee. He did play a few games after, but we'll say it all but ended his professional career. Speaking of Manchester City, the club announced they would sign Erling for the following season. On the 7th of August 2022, he scored 2 goals on his league debut against West Ham United.
And Haaland, not once, but twice. The rest of the Premier League, you have been warned.
And that was just the beginning of things to come. In the same month, he became the fastest player to record 2 hat-tricks in Premier League history. On the 14th of March, Haaland scored 5 goals against Red Bull Leipzig, and in doing so, he also reached 39 goals across all competitions, breaking City's record for the most goals scored in a single season. And in Manchester City's quarterfinal match in the Champions League against Bayern Munich on the 11th of April, he scored his 45th goal across all competitions, the most by a player of a Premier League club. The following month, he was named the FWA's Footballer of the Year. And shortly after that, Haaland won his first trophy with Manchester City when they clinched the 2022-2023 Premier League title. Now, let's briefly go over his international career. Due to being born in Leeds, Haaland was eligible to play for England, but Haaland only wished to play for Norway. At the youth level, he scored 9 goals in a single game and won the Golden Boot as the top scorer of the 2019 FIFA U20 World Cup. And at the senior level, Haaland scored 5 goals in 3 World Cup qualification matches. However, they failed to qualify. Let's take a look at his more recent new contracts and endorsements. At 19 years old, Haaland signed a 4.5-year contract with Dortmund worth around 36 million euros. Dortmund also had to fork up a 20 million euro transfer fee. 2 years earlier, he was earning a whopping 60 euros per week with Molde. And according to two newspapers, Dortmund paid Haaland's agent 15 million euros and his dad Alf 10 million euros for their roles in the deal. But that's nothing compared to his Manchester City deal. Haaland signed a 5-year, 115 million euro contract with Manchester City. Factoring in goal bonuses, he earns just under 1 million euros per week, making him the highest paid footballer in the Premier League. They also had to pay his release clause from Dortmund, which cost them 60 million euros, which is nothing compared to his 200 million euro release clause with City. They recently removed that clause as they are preparing to offer him a bumper contract. But that's not the only way he makes money. In 2021, he signed a deal with Samsung, making him the face of their phones in Norway. The deal was worth 2 million euros. Luxury Swiss watchmaker Breitling added Haaland to their list of ambassadors. He also inked a massive deal with Nike in March of 2023. The 10-year deal has a total value of 200 million euros. He also made some savvy business decisions. He has equity in Hyperice Recovery, which has a valuation of 560 million euros. Now that we know how much he makes, how does he spend his cash? Real quick, if you're liking this video, make sure to subscribe. We'll be covering every footballer just like this. As one of the highest earning players, it's no surprise he lives a life of luxury. He boasts an impressive car collection, with his most lavish one being a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, which goes for 355,000 euros. He has also been spotted driving around in an Audi RS6 Avant, a Range Rover Sport, and a Mercedes AMG GLE Coupe, for a total car collection price of 725,000 euros. Erling Haaland has recently eyed Paul Pogba's £3 million mansion, but it's not confirmed whether or not he purchased it. Let's now peek into his personal life. And trust me, it's not what you think. The Manchester City striker follows various unconventional health practices to gain an edge over his rivals. His diet consists of beef heart and liver, as well as specially filtered water. He even installed a 50,000-pound cryo chamber in his house to help his body recover. He also does ice baths, yoga, meditation, and wears blue light glasses every night. Haaland is dating fellow footballer Isabel Johansson. They met back in Brina and began dating during his time in Dortmund. Recently revealed, a way Erling winds down in his free time when he's not crushing goal-scoring records is playing video games, specifically Minecraft, with the boys. Oh, and we should probably mention, before he became one of the most sought-after footballers in the world, Haaland was in a rap group named Flow Kings. Now at this point, you people must be getting excited about his net worth. As mentioned before, he just signed some pretty lucrative contracts. So his current net worth will no doubt increase substantially with the success he is enjoying on the field with Man City. Having said that, Erling Haaland's current net worth sits at an astounding 37 million euros, and his total career earnings to date is 69 million euros. Thanks for watching.